He was tweeting about this yesterday, posting on social media.
It's amazing
that he was making a film, and it's based on a very well-known story. If you know Bert, you know the story. And what we didn't know is that Mark Hamill is now involved in this project. Amazing. Please welcome Bert Kreischer to our program. Morning.
How you guys doing?
Good, man. Hey, I have no idea what time it is in Serbia. What part of the day you are in now? What's the time?
It is 1:15 in the afternoon, but I've been sleeping all day.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. When did you get in? How long have you been there?
You know what? It's all a blur.
Okay.
Like, we got in, I think, yesterday morning, and by the way, I slept on the flight. Like, I've just been sleeping nonstop.
Was, in fact, Mark Hamill on that flight?
He was.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's a great video that Mark posted of him talking about this secret project that he's a part of, and you can see Bert comes around the corner with his shirt off, drinking wine. It was so well done. How did you get Mark involved in this movie, Bert?
So it's kind of tricky because of COVID. We kind of had to narrow it down to like it was a difficult sell. Because not everyone that is old enough to play my dad would want to come to Serbia.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we got word that Mark Hamill was just interested, and everyone dropped everything and was like, hold on. That means Darth Vader's my grandfather?
I didn't even think about that.
We lost it, and we took a meeting with him, and he was, it's amazing. You forget, like, actors really know what they're talking about. Like, he had read the script, he had questions about it, he didn't like certain aspects of it and wondered if we could change it. And we were all like, Mark, we'll turn this into whatever movie you want it to be.
Yeah. No, it's so cool. One thing since the beginning of the exposure to Mark Hamill in interviews, even for way back when the first Star Wars movie came out, one thing was clear. The dude has a really good sense of humor. So he's got to connect to stuff like this.
I told him, I said, I want to shoot a promo outside the private jet like I do for my tours for this. And so we had like a crew from Legendary to go shoot it. And I said, I gave him, I swear to God, I've given so many more notes to people. All I said was, I'm going to do like an intro read. You just come up and I'll be like, what's up? And just say, just get on the plane. And I'll go, hey, I thought we could do that. And then just cut me off. We did one take and it turned perfectly. I sat with the executive from Legendary and I go, okay, I can't tell if that's because he's such a great actor or did we just get lucky? Like,
yeah. Well, Bert, you strike me as somebody that not much rattles you, but maybe you'd be not intimidated by Mark, but are you blown away by the fact that he's in this movie with you? Because he is legendary. He is Luke Skywalker.
We watched Star Wars the day before I left with my kids.
Yes.
And my daughters are like, I cannot believe that's going to be Papa. Like, I cannot believe. He is the reason I got into movies. Like, it's not lost on me at all.
Wow. So a couple things you mentioned. Is Legendary behind this? Are they is it the company?
Legendary.
So they're on a huge roll. And is this a Netflix movie or is it okay? It's
no. I know you can see me. I just shook my head as if we're not doing radio right now.
Full theatrical release.
We want to put it in theaters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, that's awesome. It's so cool. And so the fact that this, I was thinking about this when the whole idea of the machine, the movie came up. This was such a part of your embryonic act early on, and what you would talk about in the story is just incredibly, people never get sick of hearing about it, but this will now give you the opportunity, once it's done, when people ask about it, you can just say, watch the movie. Because how many times have you told the story?
This isn't the origin. This isn't that story, though, isn't this?
It's a little bit past.
It's a follow-up to it, Bert?
So we had pitched versions of the story to a bunch of different places, and we went into Legendary, and this guy, Kale, who is a guy who I ran into like 9 years ago, and he saw me do stand-up once in Burbank, and he gave me his card, and he goes, I want to do a movie with you.
Wow.
This is like 9 years ago. And now I'm in his office, and he goes, all right, you got to do one movie. He was like, I want to do a movie with you. What movie do you want to do? And I said, well, if I got one movie to do, it's The Machine. And he goes, how would you tell that? And I go, I got to be honest with you, Kale. I don't know. I said, my biggest fear is I'm going to get hired for a corporate one day, and I'll get there, and they'll go, just tell The Machine. and it'll be the Russian mafia. And he lit up and he goes, say no more, say no more.
Wow.
Let's do this movie. And so
Go ahead.
based off that little pitch, we got writers attached, then a director, and then all of a sudden everything kind of built off of that.
The director is Peter Antencio. Is that how it's pronounced?
Peter Intencio.
Antencio. So he's from Key and Peele, and he did the movie Keanu as well, right?
Yeah.
The guy's
and then you forget, like, he really puts the work in. Like, I'm doing a wardrobe fitting the other day, and they're like, well, he sees a lot of oranges in this movie. And I was like, he's thinking about colors? And they're like, yeah, he's a director, you moron.
he's concerned with visuals?
I was like, I'm so used to doing, like, Instagram videos.
Yeah.
I don't think about anything.
You don't think about color correction and things like that.
Oh, that's great.
So you're in quarantine right now for a couple days, right? When does filming actually start?
Filming, we have rehearsals for a couple weeks.
Okay.
Filming starts, I think, May 4th.
May 4th.
May the 4th be with you. That's right.
You gotta be kidding me.
Excellent.
Yeah, what's hilarious is we put out the video and it's got a lot of traction, and like everyone hit me up. Like even like people who don't get fazed by it, like Rogan was like, dude, Mark Hamill's your dad? And then and then I went on the news and my news Google feed, and I was in my own Google feed news, and it said Bert Kreischer is not going to rehab.
Yeah, Bert, I got an email from someone who was like, hey, since he's your godfather, I thought I'd reach out to you. Is Bert really going to rehab, or was that a joke?
I was like, there's no way.
There's no way. Yeah.
I said it to Casey.
Yeah, we were doing Two Bears, One Cave, and Segura wanted to say, congrats on the movie, and we couldn't talk about it yet.
Right.
And he goes, tell everyone where you're going. And I go, I can't. And he goes, just say it. And I go, I can't. And he goes, say it. And I go, I'm going to rehab. And it made us laugh. And we just kept talking about it. And then we forgot to say, I'm not going to rehab. Angela, everyone sent me these really heartfelt messages like, this is a new step in your journey.
Oh, my God.
Bert, have we
It's more
spoken?
believable that I would be going to rehab than shooting a movie.
Yeah.
Have we spoken to you since the whole Jennifer Aniston thing happened?
No, you have not.
Okay, so for our listeners, explain how that all came. How that all happened.
So Segura and I were doing Two Bears, One Cave, and he made up a lie, and he said he met Jennifer Aniston, and I really fell for it, and it was a funny story, a funny lie, and then I said we should make a pact. If we ever meet Jennifer Aniston, we've got to bring the other one with us. And he's like, okay. He's like, well, let's set up the scenario. You pitch it to her. How would you want to meet? And I said, I want to meet at her house. And he's like, that's a little aggressive to say, I want to meet at your house. And I was like, well, we can't do it at my house. We can't do it at your house. And he's like, should we bring our wives? I'm like, no. And then I go, can she bring someone? And he goes, yeah, probably for safety. And then he caught himself and he goes, maybe that's not the message we want to send out.
You're going to need protection.
Stop laughing at the idea that we were pitching that she should bring safety to a meeting with us, and we laughed probably for 10 minutes. Literally just laughed for 10 minutes. And then one night I'm getting ready to, I get done working out. I'm at the new house. I'm getting ready to have a cocktail, and Segura calls me and he goes, have you checked your DMs? And I was like, wait, what? And he goes, check your DMs. I checked my DMs and I got a DM from Jennifer Aniston.
Wow.
And we lost it. I mean, it was like you guys are the funniest guys. And then we're like, do not let her watch any of the Reese Witherspoon stuff we've done. I don't think she'll think we're funny anymore.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome.
Wow.
It was crazy.
So going back to the movie for a second, Bert, Mark Hamill's the only name that's been announced associated with this. Is there? Can we leak a little information here on the Preston and Steve Show? Anybody else that we might know is involved in the project?
I don't know. I don't know how to say their names.
Are you using a lot of local actors or actors from Europe that we might not be familiar with?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're using a lot of them. The guy playing Igor is awesome. I mean, if I send you his video, I'll send you his video.
Yeah.
If I can get it today, I'll send it to you, and you will fall in love with this dude the second he says the machine. That's my favorite casting probably that I've seen. Actually, everyone's great. The girl I don't know who I can say, but by the way, I can't even say any of their names. So.
Yeah. No, it's so cool.
I would love to see like Boban. How do you say his last name? Basketball player, 7'5".
He's in.
Bobby.
He's in John Wick
He's in John
3,
Wick.
Parabellum. Yeah.
That guy would be great. I don't know. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to ask you. So you do Two Bears in One Cave. You're also doing this podcast with Bill Burr. We're actually going to have Bill Burr on the show tomorrow. So why do you giggle like that?
I bet that guy makes me giggle. Has he ever told you? Has he ever told you about the time he was at the Sistine Chapel?
No.
Should we ask him about it?
Or is he going to get mad?
No. He's like, I'm such a moron, Bert. He goes, I'm at the Sistine Chapel with my wife. We're looking up, and I'm thinking, this is great. You know what? If someone was smart, they'd open a bar right outside here and call it the 17th Chapel.
17th, the 16th chapel.
That's fantastic. Giggled so hard. We did a podcast with Stanhope, and all we did was talk about day drinking, best day drinking scenarios. And Bill hasn't drank in like 2 years, and I swear to God, all of us almost fell off the wagon.
By the way, here's a connection. You're going to be related to Mark Hamill in The Machine, and Bill Burr's on The Mandalorian. You're all now living in the Star Wars universe to some extent. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, what's interesting is I got an offer to be on The Mandalorian like 2 months ago. They hit me up. They sent me with this role, and they're like, "Hey, you interested?" And I was just like, "I'll pass." What? And my daughter lost it. They're like, "Why? What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't really." Not really like I don't watch The Mandalorian. Like I tried to watch it, I couldn't get into it.
Right.
And my daughters lost it. They lost it.
It's a great show. It's so freaking good. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then when we got Mark Hamill to play my dad, I went, I think I'm still a Jedi, guys. Like, it runs in the family.
Bill's whole thing is he's always made fun of the Star Wars universe. He's always, and here he is, and he jokes, he talks about, you're friends with him. And here he is square in the middle, and now he's having to sort of sheepishly say, okay, I kind of get it now,
Oh, yeah, wait, that's a great one. Ask him to tell you about all the stuff going on in season 1. Say, hey, Bill, the seasons you did, tell us about the story.
Oh, he has no idea.
He hasn't watched any of them.
All right, yeah, we'll get him on that.
Bert, it was years ago. We had done this live broadcast. Basically, it was from like a trash company, right? So it's a place. They won an opportunity. They did a charity drive, and they won an opportunity for us to broadcast live. And Bill Burr came out, and we actually flew him out to this live broadcast in a helicopter. I don't know if he's going to remember that, but it was so funny because that was like the first taste of the real Bill Burr that I got because we wanted to play. We played this game called Crack Shot, right? And Crack Shot is listeners call up, give us trivia questions. If we get it wrong, we get shot with a BB gun. And so we wanted him to be the shooter, and he's like, "No, I'm not doing it." No, I don't want to do it. He's like, I was like, oh my God, I'm like this. I think we just offended Bill Burr. Like, this is like shooting people with a BB gun is beneath him. He's like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, we weren't shooting him.
No, he was going to shoot us. Yeah.
But still, he didn't like it, so that was fine. Yeah, it apparently didn't hurt his career, so he's doing fine. Yeah. So how long will the shoot be taking place for The Machine, Bert?
3 months.
3 months. Okay, wow.
Is your family coming out at all?
My wife is. Yeah. She comes out in like 2 weeks, and then I wanted the girls to come out, but everything's still kind of weird with COVID. Yeah. I wanted to go through Europe with them. I was like, we're never gonna get this opportunity again.
Did she get the Gulfstream 550 treatment too, or will she be flying? You're laughing.
Lufthansa.
Lufthansa.
Yeah, there you go,
Coach. Take the Lufa, honey.
Should be flying standby. If you think about this, Bert, listen, this has been a traumatic, horrible year for the planet as far as, all the stuff that's been going on. But you have been on a career high. Yeah. You have been on fire. It started with your Netflix special, the Go Big show, the Cabin show. Every time you turn around, you got something out. Now you're in production on The Machine. Have you had time to pause and process how how things are going. In light of all that's not going right, you are the one shining beacon.
I had a great 2020. I don't know what everyone was
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Harvard Medical School actually called you to give a talk on how to properly set a bone in somebody's arm based on what you did for Tom Segura.
Yeah, Tom blew out his knee and broke his arm. I had a great game that day. I don't know what he's talking about.
Casey references all the time and just starts cracking up at you going over.
Just because you didn't like the way his arm looked, you're like, you shouldn't do your arm shouldn't be like that. Let me do that. And then you gave him a little tap, on the, hey, good job, buddy. Dude, sometimes I just think about it and I laugh. That was so funny.
Yeah, I did a tour. I did 4 tours. I did the vet. I had a fun 2020, man. Everyone's complaining about it.
It seems like Bert. It seems like 10 years ago that we were in the parking lot and you were doing the show. And but here we are. Yeah, but at least the general consensus and feeling is that we're moving out of this, which is good.
The last thing that we did as a show collectively with listeners involved Bert at the Cardboard Classic.
Yeah.
And that was, a little more than a year ago at this point, but Bert was there for that. And then the crap at the fan, man.
Yeah.
Everything stopped.
And then the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. That's your team.
This has been a really great year, man. Things are looking up and up.
Wow. All right. Well, listen, man, it's exciting news, and this whole thing with Mark Hamill it's just the coolest. So
it's unbelievable.
We'll hope that that filming goes well and everything runs its course, and hopefully we'll be talking to you soon, man. But we appreciate you checking in all the way from Serbia this morning.
Well, thank you, guys. I love you guys. I really do. Thank
Likewise.
You very much.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk
We
to
love
guys
you.
later.
Bert Kreischer, guys. Thanks, man. Take care, bud.
That's awesome.
All right. So, wow.
So cool.
He's living the life, dude.
Now,
He's living the life. And I hadn't thought about that until you pointed that out, Steve.
Yeah.
That the world has gone to hell and Bert Kreischer's is just on top of everything.
The pinnacle of his career.
Well, good for him.